Linda from out in Alberta came on and helped me do the sound test, so I said I'd sing a song for her. And she asked for a John Prine song, so here it is. Feelings are strange, especially when they come true. I had a feeling that you'd be leaving soon, so I tried to rearrange all my emotions, but it feels the same no matter what I do. So blue umbrella rest upon my shoulder, hide the pain while the rain makes up my mind. My feet are wet from thinking this thing over. It's been so long since I felt the warm sunshine. Just give me one good reason, and I promise I won't ask you anymore. Just give me one extra season, so I can figure out the other four. The daytime makes me wonder why you left me. Nighttime makes me wonder what I say. The next time is the only thing I count on. The last time is the only thing she said. So blue umbrella rest upon my shoulder, and hide the pain while the rain makes up my mind. Are wet from thinking this thing over. It's been so long since I felt the warm sunshine. Just give me one good reason, and I promise I won't ask you anymore. Just give me one extra season, figure out the other four. Welcome everybody, it's Tuesday night, and here we are with Tuesday Live. My name is Rob Witherspoon. For those of you who may be here for the first time, or maybe you're here for the 10th time, because this is our 10th episode. I'm sort of curious how many people out there have been here for all 10 episodes since we started back on St. Patrick's Day on March 17th with a special show. And I'm quite surprised I've survived this long, because I'm running this on really old equipment. I'm using like a 2011 MacBook Pro is my hardware, and my camera is my old iPhone 6. And this could crash at any moment. So if we ever do go down, just a heads up, I'll try to get back up as soon as possible. So just hang around, but let's keep our fingers crossed and hopefully it all works. And a new thing this week, because I know a lot of people are having trouble getting on Facebook, finding me on Facebook. I think Facebook, what they try to do is trying to, curate our experience rather than us, doing what we want to do on Facebook. So a lot of people complained to me that they were having trouble finding the live stream. In fact, I'm a little worried right now. My mom's out there trying to find the live stream. Hopefully she found it tonight. So if you're there, hi Mom. If not, hopefully you catch this in the recording, or someone can help you hook up later. But now I'm also streaming to YouTube. So if you use YouTube more often than Facebook, and you're sort of watching this on Facebook, either on an account or just on the web, head over to YouTube, check out my YouTube channel. It's called Rob Spoon Music. And this should be live streaming there. And I think I can see your comments too. So it's new technology for me, so we'll work on that. But we have a bit of a celebration tonight. We've got a bunch of special guests. some people have coming back from previous shows we've had. And it's kind of nice to open with the John Prine song. Thanks for that suggestion, Linda. Because we did do that John Prine episode. I think it was episode number 4, which was kind of the John Prine tribute after John Prine had passed away. And that's kind of the episode where I thought, well, I'm sitting here doing these songs, and I don't want to do a bunch of John Prine songs by myself. I mean, I enjoy doing it, but I thought maybe get some other musicians involved. And that kind of opened the gates to get other people on the show. And now now we've got some comedians, we've got some people doing a lot of different things, and a lot of great music, of course. So let me know if you've been here for all 10 episodes. I'm curious if anyone has. But if you have missed them, you can go back on my Facebook page, and it should be listed there under videos, all 10 episodes if you want to watch some of the back episodes if you missed any and want to catch up on them. Don't forget, we have the after party. Usually get a nice little gathering of folks there. Have some fun conversation. Last week, Bob McLean even played a song for us during the after party, which was kind of fun. So I'll put the link in the comments in a bit. Or if you subscribe through my website, I'll send out all those links ahead of time as well as information about the show. So you can do that as well. Or if you're a real heavy-duty Facebooker, go on my Facebook page, and there's a group called Tuesday Live, which is a private group I keep for people who are regular watchers of the show. Or if you want to get into that group, collect feedback there, get some requests from you, and it's also a good place to get information about the show as well. So our first guest tonight was actually the host and star of the very first show, and I'm quite excited to have him back, Robbie O'Spoon. And I believe he's in Dublin, so I'm going to try to call him up here and get him on the line. So see if he can maybe do a song for us. So just hold on one second there, folks.
Hey Rob, good to see you. I want to tell you how exciting it's good to see what's happened to the show since I first hosted that very first episode back on St. Paddy's Day. And after I left your place there, I was trying to get back to Dublin, and I called an Uber, and the Uber picked me up, and he says, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, I'm going to Dublin." And he says, "Well, I can take you there." So I thought, well, I'm not sure how an Uber's going to get to Dublin, but I'm willing to give her a go. So next thing I know, we're in Dublin, Ontario. So I didn't know where to go from there, so I've been living in this farmhouse here with these lovely people. They're pig farmers, so I'm helping them looking after their pigs and growing a few potatoes, and we're just having a grand old time, and I'll get back to Dublin, Ireland eventually. But I want to thank you for letting me be involved in your show right off the get-go, and I wish you all the best for 10 more episodes. Well, Rob, thanks again for having me on the show, and I've got a little song here I'd like to sing for you. I know Billy and Sandy down in south part of Ontario there, I don't know what it's called, down by the Niagara Falls, I believe, in that area. They requested the song a few weeks back, and it's a good old Irish tune, so I thought I'd be the good one to do it for you. So here we go. It's called Whiskey in the Jar. Let's sing along if you know her. And let's kick her off. A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... As I was going over the far-fetched Kerry Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was accounting. First produced my pistol and then produced my rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for you are a bold deceiver." Musharim dabba-doo-ba-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I counted out his money, and it made a pretty penny, so I put it in my pocket and I brought it home to Jenny. She said and she swore that she never would deceive me. The devil take the woman, for they never can be easy. Mushroom dabba-doo-ba-die. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went into my chamber for to take slumber. I dreamt of golden jewels, and for sure it was no wonder. Jenny took my chargers and she filled them up with water, sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Musharim dabba-doo-ba-die. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Was early in the morning before I rose to travel. The guards were all around me, and likewise Captain Farrell. First produced my pistol, for she stole away my rapier. I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Mushroom dabba-doo-ba-die. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can save me, it's my brother in the army. I can find a station in Cork or in Killarney, and he'll come and save me. We'll go roving in Kilkenny, and I swear he'll treat me better than my darling sporting Jenny. Mushroom dum-a-doo-ba-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some men take delight in the drinking and the roving, but others take delight in the gambling and the smoking. But I take delight in the juicing of the barley, courting pretty Jenny in the morning, bright and early. Mushroom dum-a-doo-ba-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Have a great evening, everybody, and thanks for having me on the show.
Got a great crowd on here tonight. Thanks, Robbie, for singing from Dublin, Ontario. I guess Robbie got as far as Dublin, Ontario. Hope you get safely back to Dublin, Ireland once this is all over. But, take good care of the pigs there and hope you have a good crop of potatoes. But we have a bunch of guests on, so I'm going to try to keep things moving here. We're going to head up to Gravenhurst to see my good friend Dave Smith. He's going to be picking a little song for us out in his backyard, I believe.
Good evening. I'm Dave Smith. I'm sitting here with my good friend Rob Curry. We're going to do Looking Out My Back Door by Creedence Clearwater Revival, and I hope you enjoy it. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Dave and Rob. It's like a beauty day up in Gravenhurst. And a lot of left-hand players, guitar players up there. Quite surprised. But this next song, probably one of the more unusual requests I've had. I met this fella by the name of Gary McGill. He's a musician from London. I met him through a Facebook group. And Gary sent me a message after I'd started the show, and I actually invited him to play. He hasn't been on the show yet, but I'm hoping he will be at some point in time. And Gary sent me kind of this cryptic message about this request for this song, and then he sort of was, kind of, sort of mysterious as why he was requesting it. But it was very personal. It was going to be very emotional for me and my wife. And I sort of thought, well, Gary, I'm not sure what's going on here because I don't really know you that well. So I kind of held off a bit because I thought, you got to be careful on the internet these days. And so I sort of pressed him a little bit more, and it turns out Gary, he had this memory from grade 4, and through doing a little bit of research, I guess, and ran into some people by chance, realized that he was actually in grade 4 with my wife's older sister, who has since passed away. sadly, but Gary said that she brought in this album, and this was her favorite song in the album, to grade 4 show and tell. So I don't know, I barely remember my grade 4 teacher, but cheers to you, Gary, for being able to remember a show and tell class from grade 4 and then track that down and send that in to me. So thanks for the request, Gary. It's called There's a Place by the Beatles. Not a song I know that well, and yeah, I'm going to give her a shot here in my own little style. There's a place where I can go when I feel low, when I feel blue, and it's my mind, and there's no time when I'm alone. I think of you, the things you do go round my head, the things you said, like I love only you. In my mind there's no sorrow, don't you know that it's so? There'll be no sad tomorrows, don't you know that it's so? There's a place where I can go when I feel low, when I feel blue, and it's my mind, and there's no time when I'm alone. There's a place, there's a place, there's a place. Thanks for that song, Gary, and bringing back memory of my sister-in-law and our sister, Susan. This next song is, we're going to head over to Kitchener to a young woman who made her debut on the show just last week, and she's back here this week with another great song, Kathy King.
Hi Rob, hi everybody. Here's a John Mellencamp song for you. Save some time to dream, save some time for yourself. Don't let your time slip away or be stolen by somebody else. Save some time for those you love, for they'll remember what you gave. Save some time for the songs you sing and the music that you make. Could it be this is all there is? Could it be there's nothing more at all? Save some time to dream, your dreams might save us all. Save some time for sorrow, for it'll surely come your way. Prepare yourself for failure, it'll give you strength someday. Try to keep your mind open and accept your mistakes. Save some time for living and always question your faith. Could it be this is all there is? Could it be there's nothing mean to you. Try not to be too judgmental, so others will not judge you. Save some time to think, oh, before you speak your mind. Many will not understand, and to them you must be kind. Could it be this is all there is? Could it be there's nothing more at all? Save some time to dream. Save some time to dream. Save some time to dream. Your dreams might save us all.
Wow, what a beautiful song, Kathy. Great work. Great work. And now, for something completely different and a bit of a contrast, we're going to head out to the shed and see what Willie's up to. Hey y'all, I'm real happy to be here for this 10th episode anniversary show. I'm glad to be part of the show. Happy to host her a few weeks back there, and hoping I might get a chance to come back in the house and play some more sometime in the future. Been a little damp out in the shed, but at least a little warmer, so got that looking up for us. So I'd like to send this song out to a young gal out in Eastern Ontario who's certainly done a lot of requesting on the show. But, you know, Sherry, I wish you request some songs that are a little happier, because this one's a little sad. It's called Long Black Veil. 10 years ago, on a cold dark night, there was someone killed by the town hall light. There were few at the scene, and they all did agree that the man who ran looked a lot like me. The judge said, son, what is your alibi? If you were somewhere else, then you won't have to die. Well, I spoke not a word, although it meant my life. Been in the arms of my best friend's wife. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Scaffold was high and eternity neared. She stood in the crowd and she shed not a tear. But sometimes at night, when the cold wind moans in a long black veil, she cries over my bones. These hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave where the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Long black veil. She visits
it's my grave, where the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody cares, nobody knows but me. Nobody knows but me. Thanks for having me on the show. And Rob, I got my buddy Pat Ricky Bobby, I think is going to call in right now and say a little word to you as well. So I'll turn it over to you. Maybe you can connect up with Pat Ricky Bobby.
Hey Willie, how y'all doing there? Your cousin Rob sent me a little message saying you're celebrating your 10th anniversary show, so I thought I should send a little video congratulatory message to you. When I looked at the fine print, I realized, oh, it's only your 10th show, not your 10th anniversary, but I suppose for someone like you, that's still a pretty big accomplishment. You know, when I think about it, the only other thing you've ever done 10 of is drink 10 of my beers when you're over having a little campfire with me. But heck, good for you. You might be asking where I am right now. I'm actually out on a little hunted delivery, and unfortunately, I'm a little bit lost right now. My GPS kind of crapped out on me. I got myself a road map here, but gosh, not sure I can read that too well. As far as I can figure, I'm either in west, south North Carolina, or I'm in east, north South Carolina, and I ain't really quite sure which one right now, so I'm hoping I get a little bit of help soon. You know, it's times like this I really wish I hadn't dropped out of school after grade 2, because I think that grade 3 geography class might really come in handy about right now. Yeah. Anyways, you know, talking about school, there's something, Willie, I think all your fans should know about you, and that is that Willie set a record in South Carolina for skipping the most grades in 1 year. Yeah, it's true. You see, back then, there were very tough and difficult educational standards. And poor Willie, he kind of got stuck into a grade 1 for the longest time. You see, to get out of grade 1, you needed to know your ABCs. Willie weren't too bad for those first 25 letters, but that 26th one, it got him every time. And for those of you who may not be as educated as me, that 26th letter is the letter Z. Now, it seems Willie could never figure that one out, Z. He called it Z. And then he would blame that on his Canadian genealogy or whatever that word is. But I'll tell you, they would not send him to grade 2 until he would say Z, and he just wouldn't do it. So there you go. Suddenly Willie's 13 and still in grade 1. Well, lucky for Willie, during that final grade 1 year of his, we had a state election and a new governor was elected, some socialist, communist guy. And he said that everyone should be in a grade that's related to their age, not their ability with the educational issues. And so there you go. Before you know it, Willie's in grade 1 one day and up to grade 9 the next day. Skipped 8 grades in 1 day. In fact, I all think Willie's the smartest man I know. So I'm proud of you, Willie. Good for you on that. Anyways, I think I need to get going here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But I did want to say congratulations again on your 10th show. And hopefully I'll see you again. If you don't hear from me, Willie, maybe you can send a little bit of help for me, because I don't know when I'm going to be getting back, but we'll see what we do. So you shake and bake, buddy. Take care, and catch you soon. Where the dang am I? I don't know where the heck I'm going.
Well, thank you, Pat, Ricky, Bobby, and Willie. I hope Pat, Ricky, Bobby finds his way back out there after running some honey. I know he's running Canadian honey up there. But this next song, a request from Steve Morris. He's a good friend of mine. Does sound for me when I play some bigger events. And so he requested this Murray McLaughlin song. I wasn't that familiar with it, and I couldn't even find the words for it. And then Steve sent me the words, so I don't really have any excuse not to. River Flood. And it's actually a pretty good song. Kind of like it. Red River is rising. Red River makes you pray. Red River's like death. all the old people say. You can put your whole life in this piece of clay, and the Red River comes, takes it all away. Yeah, the Red River comes, takes it all away. Takes it all away. Takes it all away. Takes it all away. From way up here it looks like a dream. Winnipeg sitting like an island in a stream. White-capped waves in the prairie fields swallow up the farmhouse halfway up the trees. Red River is rising, Red River makes you pray. Red River's like death, all the old people say. You can put your whole life in this piece of clay, and the Red River comes, takes it all away. The Red River comes, takes it all away. Takes it all away. You know where the water ends and the sky begins. You can't fight that river, but you ain't gonna win. I looked at the water and it chilled my blood. You ain't never seen nothing like a Red River flood. Red River is rising, Red River makes you pray. Red River's like death, all the old people say. You put your whole life in this piece of clay, and the Red River comes, takes it all away. The Red River comes, takes it all away. Takes it all away. Takes it all away. It looks like an ocean as far as I can see. You can't hold a river back, no sandbag heat. The smaller man can see him on this ball of mud. How we compare to the Red River flood. Red River is rising, Red River makes you pray. Red River's like death, all the old people say. You can put your whole life in this piece of clay. The Red River comes, takes it all away. The Red River comes, takes it all away. Takes it all away. Takes it all away. Takes it all away. Thanks for that request, Steve. And send in your requests. We're probably next week, I'm thinking we might do a dinner show. I'm trying to get somebody, a chef or somebody who knows something about food. Or I'll do it myself if I can't find somebody. Do a little food prep ahead of time. I'll have a little dinner and a show. We'll do a little dinner prep video. You can have your dinner, come watch the show, and have a little bit more of a dinner vibe to it. But anyways, I'd like to turn it over to one of our regular contributors. Really appreciate all the work he does. Our Celtic man, Bob McLean.
Hey folks, Bob McLean here. We're going to give another whirl on another song here. This is an old Bob Dylan song. It comes from the early 60s. I got to track what album it's from. I remember looking it up and seeing the year 62 or 63. It's Girl from the North Country. And I listened to the original version of it, and I can sort of see why back in the day, with so many other things that Bob Dylan was doing, that this track never caught on. But somebody approached him in the late 60s and said, you need to do that song with Johnny Cash. So the two of them recorded Girl from the North Country, I believe. And nobody's looked back since then. That was quite a track hit for both of them. So here we go. We're going to give a shot with Girl from the North Country. if you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the winds blow heavy across the borderlines, remember me to the one who lives there, for she once was a true love of mine. Please see for me if her hair hangs down, if it curls and falls all down her breast. Please see for me if her hair hangs down, for that's the way I remember best. So if you go when the snowflakes fall, where the rivers freeze and the summers end, please see for me there's a coat so warm to keep her from the howling wind. I'm a-wondering if she remembers me at all. Many times I've often prayed in the darkness of my night, in the brightness of my day. So if you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the winds blow heavy across the borderline, remember me to the one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. She once was a true love of mine.
As always, awesome work there, Bob. Really appreciate your contributions to the show. Our next act, so to speak, is some of you who've been around may recall Tim Farrell, our resident comedian. And I said to Tim, last week, I said, Tim, you're going to send something for the show this week? And he said, I got somebody in the family who's even more talented than me. And I said, Tim, how can that be possible? There's somebody with more talent in your family than you. And he said, well, there is. This young fella, his son, Dylan, is actually studying filmmaking, I believe at Ryerson, but correct me if I'm wrong there, Tim, if you're out there. And he put together this awesome film. You might see a guest appearance by somebody you might recognize from Tuesday Live. And it's a remake of an old comedy classic. It's called First. So here's a short film by Dylan Farrell.
Strange as it may seem, ball players nowadays have peculiar names.
Funny names?
Nicknames. We have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the fellas on the St. Louis team.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, and I don't know's on third.
You know the names of the fellas on the team?
Yes.
Who's playing first?
Yes.
The fella playing first base.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who is on first base?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Who is on first?
I'm asking you, who's on first?
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who is on first?
Have you got a first baseman on first?
Certainly.
Then who's playing first?
Absolutely.
When you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets it?
Every dollar of it. And why not? The man's entitled to it.
So who gets it?
Why shouldn't he? Sometimes his wife comes down and gets it.
Whose wife?
Yes.
Well, all I want to know is, what's the name of the man on first base?
No. What's on second base?
Nice work there, Dylan. And of course, I was wrong. Tim pointed out Dylan's going to Sheridan, not Ryerson. I think Sheridan has a much better program anyway. So, this is a request from Marshall. It's one of my original tunes called Trouble. It's off the Speed River Valley Mountain Boys CD, which I still have a few copies of if you're interested. And this was inspired by my friend David Duke. He was always getting into trouble. Not the kind of trouble that I get into in this song, but in terms of the story, but he kind of inspired it. Never know who your friends really are until you really need them. You never know what trouble truly is until it truly begins. You never cared for the light of day until the darkness closed in. You look for trouble and you lost your friends. Now just look at this trouble you're in. This trouble's got a way of finding you, and this trouble seems to never end. Just when you think you're done with it, a new kind of trouble begins. Always take the wrong turn, heading down a road of sin. Trouble's got a way of finding you. Just look at this trouble you're in. Your mother tried to raise you up. She tried as hard as she could. All on her own, she never stood a chance. Your chance to do any good. Your daddy left before you could walk. He never passed his way again. The only thing he left was a set of footprints leading into this trouble you're in. Cause trouble's got a way of finding you, and this trouble seems to never end. Just when you think you're done with it, a new kind of trouble begins. Always take the wrong turn, heading down a road of sin. Trouble's got a way of finding you. Just look at this trouble you're in. Stole a car, robbed a store, he started to carry a gun. It didn't take so very long before you're living your life on the run. You were looking for the law, but the law found you, and you found yourself doing time. friends, but the kind of friends that you get you into trouble again. This trouble's got a way of finding you, and this trouble seems to never end. Just when you think you're done with it, a new kind of trouble begins. Always take the wrong turn, heading down a road of sin. Trouble's got a way of finding you. Just look at this trouble you're in. Said trouble's got a way of finding you. Just look at this trouble you're in. That's Trouble off my Speedway Valley Mountain Boys CD. Here's a song coming from our good friend out in New Brunswick, Sandy McKay. So let's head out to New Brunswick and listen to Sandy play us a tune.
Told me I'm a fool, so I walked on down the road a mile, went to the house that raised a smile, sat upon my grandpa's knee. What do you think he said to me? When you awake you will remember everything. You will be hanging on a string from your... When you believe you will believe the only soul that you were born with to grow old and never know. Only showed me fork in the road. You can take to the left and go straight to the right. Use your days and save your nights. Careful where you watch and step what you eat. Sleep with the light and then you got it beat. When you awake, you will remember everything. You will be hanging on a string from your... When you believe, you will believe the only soul that you were born with to grow old and never know.
Beauty, Sandy. So you're discovering some new technology out there in New Brunswick too during this pandemic. So look forward to some more music from you next week. And a great job. And now we're going to go back up to Gravenhurst to a young woman who joined us last week for the first time. I believe it was last week. No, it was 2 weeks ago. She played with her dad. We had a couple songs with Bet Smith and her dad. And now Bet, who has a band of her own called with the Curry Brothers, is doing a song. And I suspect anywhere you go out in Gravenhurst, pick up a guitar and start playing. And Rob Curry's going to show up and play some very tasteful licks alongside you. So here's a great new song that Bet hasn't even recorded yet. And so appreciative that she's sharing it with us tonight. So let's go up to Gravenhurst with Bet Smith and Rob Curry.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our living room. My name's Bet. This is Rob.
Hi.
We're going to play you a brand new song. The only place you may have heard it is on Dave and Sharon Smith's Facebook page once. But anyway, this is new. We're recording it now, but it's not recorded yet. So here you go. It's called Somebody's Got to Kill That Rooster, but it won't be me. And it was inspired by a time when I was attacked by a rooster. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my darling brought home a rooster, and well, I'm scared to death. I swear it took all of 4 hours. I felt
That's a great song, Bet. Make sure you get that one recorded soon. And Fine Chicken Pickin' there by Rob Curry on the electric. That fellow can play left and right-handed. Quite an amazing player, actually. But thanks for coming on the show, Bet. Hope to get you again. And we got one last guest here tonight, and this is kind of a very unusual situation. We're quite excited to have this guest on the show, particularly our 10th episode celebration. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over and go see if I can get the guest up here. It's a global exclusive we have here, so hold on. Oh, did that freeze? We have a very special guest with us tonight for the 10th episode of Tuesday Live, a world exclusive. Our guest has been disrupting the entire planet, and I'm sure everybody wants to hear what they have to say. This is the interview that the world has been waiting for. So let's give a warm, but not too encouraging, Tuesday Live welcome to the virus that everybody's talking about, SARS-CoV-2.
Hello there. I'm actually just one of several gazillion of us, but since I'm not currently engaged in any viral transmission at the particular moment, although you could come a little closer, I've been named the acting spokesvirus.
Thank you for choosing Tuesday Live for your first ever interview, SARS-CoV-2.
You can call me COVIDy if you'd like.
Okay, COVIDy then. As you can imagine, you're not a very popular figure right now for all the pain and suffering you've been causing. What do you and your fellow virus particles have to say for yourselves?
Now hold on a second. Don't put the blame on us. We were just hanging around with bats for the last, well, I don't really have a concept of time, but it's been a while. We were all having a gay old time, replicating freely among the bats. Those were the good old days. And we didn't really bother the bats that much. Maybe they got a little sniffle and lost their sense of smell. But bats have built-in sonar to get around it. Have you ever been in a cave full of bats? It doesn't exactly smell like roses, if you know what I mean. You'd probably be thankful for not having a sense of smell if you were in a bat cave. So in a way, we were actually very beneficial to the bat.
Then why did you cross over into humans?
Cross over into humans? It's more like humans crossed over into us. We weren't the ones buying live bats to make bat soup, buffalo bat wings, or whatever you primitive creatures consume. It's not our fault your species like to eat weird stuff like bats. We don't eat bats. We don't eat anything. We just borrow your cellular physiology to make more of us. Not our fault you have a hyperactive immune system. I'm sure you'd do the same if you were in our lipid sheath.
But you could have just stayed with bats and left us humans alone.
How are we to know that you were the perfect medium for moving us around? Sure, it was fun flying around with the bats, but oh boy, that's nothing like hitching a ride on a human and flying in a metal tube high in the sky from continent to continent. And the way you people like to congregate in groups. We've been at concert, bars. Spring break in Florida was a ball. Living with bats, it was just hang around in the cave all day and then go fly around at night. Pretty dull, to be honest. But from a viral perspective, you people are awesome. It was like we were eating plain oatmeal for years and years, then suddenly somebody put a bowl of Captain Crunch in front of us. We couldn't help ourselves. Hanging around a cave of bats is one thing, but hanging around with humans? It was like moving from a basement apartment with no windows to a luxury penthouse. Once we tasted the sweet honey of replication in the human population, there was no stopping us. As you humans are so proud of saying about your moronic internet memes, we went viral. We're the original viral phenomenon.
I guess I see your point. Can you comment on the rumor that you were created in a lab?
Created in a lab? You humans sure think you're something, don't you? Do I look like I was made in a lab? I'm the result of millions of years of mutation. You don't get a bod like this as the result of a lab accident. Fake news.
Don't you viruses feel any guilt for the chaos you're causing, or at least have some compassion?
Look at me. Can't you see I'm just a microscopic particle of RNA with a sharp-looking lipid coat and funky-looking spike proteins to help me stick to things? To be honest, we don't really have a sense of anything. Just a burning desire to replicate, courtesy of hosts like you.
What's the purpose of all this? That's the burning question all of us humans have.
Purpose? Why does there have to be a purpose? There is no purpose. Why does everything need a purpose? In many ways, we're the perfect life form. A wee bit of genetic material and a snazzy lipid coat and these cool spiky proteins. We just hitch along through life on other organisms. Pretty simple, really. But let me tell you something that's going to blow your collective minds. How many humans are there on the planet? 7 or 8 billion? Do you know how many viruses there are? 10 to the power of 31. You don't look very sharp, but no need to pull out your calculator. Trust me, that's a lot. Do you want to know the truth? Can you even take the truth? The truth is, this is our planet, and you humans are just here for the purpose of viral replication. Sure, we let you have your culture, politics, and entertainment. But then we realized you were starting to mess with everything, screwing up the climate and the environment, which was just going to mess it all up for everyone. So we decided it was time to show you primitive creatures who's really in charge here.
Whoa, that's a little harsh, but I guess I get your point. Is there any way that humans and viruses can coexist without having you wreak havoc across the planet as we're all hiding in our houses?
It's not like me and my fellow viruses are the first or the last ones to mess with humans, but get your act together. Try taking better care of the planet, other species, and each other, and stop eating bats. You should thank us for all the good we're doing. Air quality is better, people are driving less, and learning to appreciate things more. You're figuring out who's really important. Healthcare workers, farmers, truck drivers, warehouse workers, grocery store cashiers, and others who work to supply food and other essential goods and services. You're seeing the leaders who really care about people, and those who are just there for their own wealth and power.
Those are all good points, Covidian. Listen, we really appreciate you coming on the show tonight to chat. But to be honest, we'd really like it if just you and your friends just took off and left us alone.
We're going to stick around for a bit. I'd really love to meet you and your audience in person.
I'm sure you would. Can I offer you a refreshing bleach spritzer?
No way, man. I'm out of here.
I'm back. I think the phone froze up or something. Hope everybody didn't leave. Show's getting a little weird all the time, isn't it? But you never know who's going to show up on Tuesday Live, so keep showing up. I would, thanks to everybody who came out tonight. I'd start naming names, but I would be sure to forget somebody, so I just want to thank every one of you individually for coming out. Subscribe on my website, and you'll get information about the show, direct links and things to make it easier to find. I did put a link in the Facebook comments. If you'd like to join us for the after show, we usually get a nice little turnout of folks from the cast and audience, so it's always fun. And so come out to that, grab a beverage and join us on Zoom if you'd like. And thanks everybody for sticking around. Share this with your friends. Certainly like to get more people involved. Send in your requests for next week. We're going to do a dinner show, so we're going to have some more dinner music. I'm not sure what that means. Music you can eat by. There probably won't be any viruses showing up, but here's a good song to finish the show off. It's called In This Thing Together. And thanks everybody who's been with us through these first 10 episodes, and we're going to keep this going as long as I think my phone holds out anyway. So come over to the after party in Zoom. We'll see you there. Well, my friend, I can see your face so clearly. A little bit tired, a little worn through the years. You sound nervous, you seem so alone. I barely recognized your voice on the telephone. In between, just before we wound up broken down, we drive out to the edge of the highway. Follow that lonesome dead-end roadside sound. We're all in this thing together, walking the line between faith and fear. This life don't last forever. When you cry, I taste the salt in your tear. Well, my friend, let's put this thing together and walk this path with worn out feet of trial. 'Cause if we wanted, we could go home forever. Give up your jaded ways, spell your name before God. We're all in this thing together, walking the line between faith and fear. This life don't last forever. So when you cry, I taste the salt in your tear. Every day there's a picture in the mirror, fancy shoes to grace our feet. And all there is a slow road to freedom, with heaven above and the devil below. We're all in this thing together, walking the line between faith and fear. This life don't last forever. When you cry, I taste the salt in your tear. Thanks for coming out tonight, everybody. We'll see you in the after party, and if not, see you next week.